very special episode of the Fula Effect. In this episode, I'm going to talk to a Venezuelan comrade who actually knows what is actually occurring and it's on the ground level in Venezuela, who can tell you actually what's going on and give you the truth of the matter and not give you what you're fed. Now, we may have bad services due to the situation, but we're going to try to make it work. So, go ahead and introduce yourself, brother Jesus, to the people. Let them know who you are and what you
My
do.
name, my name, my name is Jesus Rojas. I am a Venezuelan citizen, and I am an active member of the political party which supports the government, and I have been involved, in socialist activism, since I was very young. I am 55 years old now. And I've been working, teaching English in high school since 17 years ago, and I am part, of an organization, a communal organization, and I have been involved in social work here in Venezuela since a long time ago, even before Chavez took power. We have been involved, in political activism, especially with the left wing, political parties. But let me tell you that the Bolivarian Revolution is has been the best thing, that had happened to us here. And since Chavez, we have gained a lot of things, especially in social, what can I say? I mean, in social policies, the government have implemented a series of measurements, that have been so good to the people. Now, before we were really, really poor, despite that we have a lot of natural resources, but now, the distribution of wealth, it's much more equitable. Now all the programs, all the social programs, have gone through the whole people of the country. Even the poorest one, So those have been the most benefit of this kind of program.
Real quick question, Jesus. We know
Okay.
that Venezuela has oil, but what other natural
Yes.
resources does Venezuela have that,
Yeah, okay.
makes go ahead and like name all those things, like just a couple of things. You don't have to name them all, but what else does Venezuela have that would interest like these people?
Pardon? Okay, can you say it again? Can you
Yeah,
repeat again the
yeah,
question?
yeah, sure. What kind of natural resources does Venezuela have besides oil? We know there's oil, but what else is in Venezuela?
Gold,
Yeah.
natural gas, bauxite,
Mm-hmm.
coltan, and a lot of natural resources. We have plenty of fresh water,
Mm-hmm.
and we have thousands of hectares, to be planted. We can produce any kind of plant here because, as you see, Venezuela is a tropical country and everything can
Mm-hmm.
be grown here.
Mm-hmm.
And we can have, plantations all year round, without stopping, because we have all the natural resources for that. Not only the soil, a fertile soil, but also
Mm-hmm.
fresh water, to irrigate, even
Mm-hmm.
for the consumption of the population in Venezuela. But the
Mm-hmm.
natural resources are so, I mean, Venezuela has the biggest reservoir of petroleum, of the whole world.
Yes.
Okay. We
Mm-hmm.
are first in petroleum, first in gold, we have
Mm-hmm.
bauxite, we have aluminum, we have
Mm-hmm.
coltan, all natural resources, diamonds,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, so I mean,
You have
we have
yeah, just a
everything
lot.
here.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, for
Yes.
sure. Now,
Mhm.
before the Bolivarian Revolution, what was Venezuela like? Like what was going on like before that revolution? What kind of like things were taking place in there, and what led to actually Hugo Chavez actually wanting to make the necessary changes?
Okay, what moved him, I mean Chavez, I mean
Hmm.
to take power was the party we have in Venezuela, in the
Hmm.
Fourth Republic during
Hmm.
the government of the Pacto de Punto Fijo. So,
Hmm.
in spite that we have a lot of natural resources, we are only
Hmm.
30 million people, but our
Hmm.
population here, I mean, we're in extreme poverty. We had here, Chavez took power, more
Hmm.
our population were extremely poor. We would say 80% of the population didn't have access to education, didn't have access
Hmm.
to security, health, didn't have access to go to a university because we were so poor that for us it was so difficult to get access, to
Hmm.
the basics that a human being can have.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
And
so it was a contradiction because it's say,
yeah,
okay, I mean, in Venezuela you had everything, to be a superpotency, but in
yeah,
spite that we have a lot of natural resources. I mean, we lived in extremely bad conditions.
yeah.
I mean, it didn't make any sense for us that we were living under that conditions, having everything in our
Uh-huh.
land.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, there's often this. So, what kind of programs did Hugo Chavez put in Venezuela to like change the lot of the people? And with these programs, there's
Um,
often there's often this thing that like people think that the rich, the right wing, their quality of life was changed. Can you go ahead and tell me what the programs did, and did they change the quality of life of the right wing that we're dealing with today?
well, all the social programs that the government have
Hmm.
implemented have been for the
Hmm.
benefits of the whole population, equitable.
Hmm.
And programs in education. Now we have the biggest enrollment of education in university level.
Hmm.
Hugo Chavez created and a lot of universities for the people,
Hmm.
and education in high school level and elementary school.
Hmm.
Now we don't have illiterate here. I mean, all of
Hmm.
them were well, I mean, now everybody know how to read and write, thanks
Hmm.
to the help of the Cuban government,
Uh-huh.
because those plans were, I mean, we received the help, of Cuba, in order to
Yeah,
get
for sure.
gold here in Venezuela,
For
and
sure.
even in health, we have the diagnostic center, even
Mhm,
in the furthest area, of the
mhm,
country,
mhm,
because in the past it was so difficult. Many
mhm,
people die even of a flu because they didn't have access to the public health,
mhm.
and now with Chavez, I mean, now we have a doctor in the community. I mean,
Yeah.
we have a CDI. A CDI is what we call a diagnostic center, in each community, even the smallest one, and
Yeah.
indigenous and in the rural areas, like indigenous people, they have access to education, they have access to public health, I mean,
Mhm,
completely free. Yeah,
mhm,
because everything here was privatized, and the people who doesn't have money didn't have the chance to go in to a hospital, to be treated for any kind of disease. I
yeah.
mean, it was really, really difficult for us to do that. But now it's free and for
Yeah.
everybody,
Mhm,
without any kind of discrimination. I mean, it's
mhm,
free and it's constitutional because he created another constitution,
mhm,
and all all those rights that we have gained so far are guaranteed because they are law and they are
Hmm.
constitutional rights. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, did there's this misconception because you see a lot of Venezuelans in Miami, and most of the ones I do talk to who are in Miami, they hate they hate the Bolivarian Revolution a lot. It's the same thing like how it is with Cuba, how like many of the Cubans who go to Miami, most of them they were crooks back in Cuba, basically. Um, Now I want to know. Was the right wing's life like, or were the private business owners, did their quality of life decrease from this, like these social changes, or did it just remain the same?
Okay, the right wing has lost a lot of privileges.
Okay, like what kind
So,
of
I mean,
privileges?
they were the owner. Well, I mean, they were the owner of the enterprises here, of the company here, of the transnational here. They were
Mm-hmm.
the owner, of the petroleum, and so they got the biggest part of the cake. I mean, I don't know if you understand. I mean, so they
Yeah, no,
took,
I understand.
I mean,
I
yeah,
understand.
yeah. I mean, and they didn't left anything for the poor people. So they want everything for them, and the poor
Mm-hmm.
people, okay. Uh, but the things, I mean, it was reversed when Chavez took power. Okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
why they hate Chavez because it was difficult for them to think that someone like him,
Mm-hmm.
someone from a neighborhood in Marina, because Chavez is humble people. Chavez came from a
Yeah.
humble people. He became a military
Yeah.
man, but
Yeah.
he wasn't a guy of renown. A
Mm-hmm.
renown. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why they hate him because he changed everything for the benefits of the population. Say, okay, it's
Mm-hmm.
not possible that just a few people, a few people got everything, and
Mm-hmm.
the majority of the population live in poverty conditions. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
was
Yeah.
he didn't have same.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I don't want to like talk about this, but there's often rumors that he didn't, he was not like actually having cancer, but he was given cancer. Um, Now, is there any truth? Is there any truth to that? That like somehow he was like given something that like deteriorated his health and caused his death?
Well, according to some research that
Mm-hmm.
have been made, we
Mm-hmm.
would say that Chavez, I mean, that his cancer was
Mm-hmm.
inoculated.
Okay.
I mean, that disease was provoked on purpose. Okay,
Okay.
I cannot tell you exactly the truth of it, but
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
according
Yeah.
to the investigation that have been done, I mean, we would say that Chavez was killed.
Okay. Yeah. That's kind of
Yeah, it's the only
yeah.
way that they can topple him down, because in any other stage, it would have been so difficult for him to get rid of him. So I mean,
Yeah.
in
Yeah. Exactly.
Chavez
Yeah.
was, I mean, well, for all he was more than a president. I mean, he was a hero. I mean, we loved
Yeah.
him. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, so, but
Now,
he was killed.
yeah. Yeah. That's
So that's
kind of
why
what
we
I.
need to protect Maduro because they're going to do the same thing with him.
Yeah, and I want to
And
talk about that. I want to talk about Maduro. Now, Maduro,
mm,
obviously he's inexperienced and stuff like that. But how do the people generally feel about Maduro? How does the majority population feel about Nicolas Maduro right now?
Well, I mean, now he's getting the confidence of the people.
Mm-hmm.
And well, we would say that he was a rookie when he took power, but I mean, he has learned and he has followed Chavez's instructions,
Okay.
and we have helped him
Mm-hmm.
because, I mean, we have confidence in him. I mean, we have debate together. That's one of the things we like him, because everything when he's gonna do something, he make a
Mm-hmm.
consultation to the public, I mean, openly,
Mm-hmm.
and we can
Mm-hmm.
discuss, things, in our population. We go to any neighborhood, any street, house to house.
Mm-hmm.
So we discuss
Mm-hmm.
the things, of relevance with the people, with the
Mm-hmm.
organized society. I mean, uh,
Mm-hmm.
still from the grassroots.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so now the way of making policy right now, I mean, has changed.
Yes.
So because we discuss everything, everything has to be discussed, and
Mm-hmm.
then we decide, okay. But the goals, we establish the goals and the way that those goals has have to proceed, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Now,
so
now,
that's why. Yes.
now, what? Now, with Nicolas Maduro, because of course, over here, the United States media paints this image of a dictator, this image of a totalitarian, and things like that. What kind of things does he do that gives um people the confidence to say that this guy is still our president? What kind of things has he done that because you mentioned that he's learning and he was a rookie? What kind of things is he now doing that make you say, okay, this guy is going to continue where Chavez left off,
Okay.
if you want
All
to
right
get
then.
into that? Yeah.
In relation to the social programs that Chavez implemented in its due time, Maduro has followed that, but not only
Hmm.
has followed that, but I
Hmm.
mean, he has deepened much more in that. And now everybody have access to education, have access to public health,
Hmm.
and he has created, some other missions,
Hmm.
with its social benefits, for everybody.
Hmm.
And he has created, much more universities for people, and
Hmm.
even with the housing projects,
Hmm.
and for example, in my community,
Hmm.
that were, I mean, cottages before, but now everybody has a house. I
Yeah.
mean, a beautiful house. We don't have
Yeah.
cottages here. We have access
Hmm.
to to water, electricity,
Hmm.
internet, cable TV,
Hmm.
things that
And is that
it
all?
was,
Is that
yeah.
free?
Mm.
Is free? All of that access is
No,
free?
we pay just, but I mean, a
Yeah.
minimum amount for that.
Okay.
But
Okay.
most of the social benefits are free. But I mean, but in the
Yeah.
houses, I mean, the houses
Yeah.
program, okay,
Yeah.
though that program is subsidized by the government.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Cool. Cool. That makes sense. Okay. Now, another thing too that the that this game that we see being played now. Can you tell me actually what is going on at the Venezuela Colombia border? Because they're given the image that, oh, this aid is trying to get there to Venezuela and stuff like that. But I have the opinion that it may be something else, not aid. Do you know about what's going on actually? What they're trying to do? And what can you tell me about this guy who's trying to take power? Like, what can you
yeah,
tell me
well,
about
they
them?
are. I mean, so you have to know that the
Mhm,
U.S. government has seven air base
mhm,
uh, in Colombia, distributed, I mean, in the region, and they
mhm,
are using Colombia as a platform
Mm-hmm.
in order to intervene or go through, the Colombian border to come to
Mm-hmm.
Venezuela.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, and the right twin in Colombia, along um, along with some politicians that have
Mm-hmm.
gone through here to
Mm-hmm.
there, okay,
Mm-hmm.
especially people from the opposition,
Mm-hmm.
wealthy people from here, they have very good connection with the Colombian government, and
Mm-hmm.
they're talking every day in order to overthrow Maduro. But they're not gonna do that. I mean, it's gonna be impossible for them to do that. I mean, we know who they are, we know where they are, and we
Mm-hmm.
know what they do every day. I mean, we have, I mean, our people, even infiltrated ones, that give us the information that they do every day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, you know, the Colombian government has been,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like a mop-up, of the
Yeah.
U.S.
Yeah. A
imperialism,
puppet. Yeah. I know it's a puppet. It's a puppet state.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they
Yeah. It's a puppet state. Mm-hmm.
and they do what they are told about to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just do this, and they do. So
Mm-hmm.
they don't
Yeah.
think by themselves, I mean, and they use the media,
Mm-hmm.
to create, false news. They say many bad things about us, but only
Yeah. Of
bunch of
course.
lies. That's what they
Yes.
say every day. Lies and more
Yes.
lies and lies and more lies.
Yes.
But there are
Yes.
people who believe that. I mean, not only here,
Mm-hmm.
but also there and around the world.
No, a lot of
But
people
it's
believe it.
okay.
Trust me. A
Yeah,
lot of
yeah, yeah.
people.
Even
It,
I invite openly here to come to Venezuela.
mm-hmm.
Everybody who wants to
Mm-hmm.
come, just come, and then they will
Yeah.
see. But we need people who comes and see what is really happening here in order to
Yeah.
spread the news when they go back to their countries. They have to say
Mm-hmm.
openly what is happening here, but they don't have to say lies. That's
Yeah.
one of the
Exactly.
things, that I mean, it's that bother us here, that they tell
Of
lies.
course.
They don't tell the truth.
Of course.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I
Now.
mean,
Now.
mhm.
Now tell me this, because this is the one thing that I see, and I'm like, wait a minute. My friend on Facebook is showing me the complete opposite of what they're showing here. People, they're saying, especially here on this news outlet, they're like, oh, people are starving over there in Venezuela. They're looking in trash for foods and stuff like that.
No,
Wh-
that's not
wh-
true. That's not true. We
tell
are not
me, yeah,
starving
go,
here. Of
yeah, tell
course,
me,
of
yeah,
course we
go
are. Uh-huh. Oh,
clear that up for people. Clear that up for people.
okay,
If
okay.
yeah.
Of course, we have a difficult situation. That's true. We have a
Hmm.
difficult situation, but
Hmm.
that has been provoked on purpose, not because the
Yes.
government of Maduro has been so bad. No, it's because, I mean, our government has been blocked,
Hmm.
like they did with Cuba. They are trying to apply the same method with us here too.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and
Hmm.
okay, that's why we don't have access, openly and free, to the to food and everything here. Okay, we had
Hmm.
food,
Hmm.
we have enough to survive. Okay, we want more. Okay, that's true, but I mean, but that has been induced. It's
Yes.
only that have been done to weak the government,
Yes.
to throttle us.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? To choke us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So how is the United States doing that? How, what are they doing to economically to like basically freeze you guys out? What are they doing? Like what kind of things do they do to do that?
The U.S.
Yeah, the US. What do they do? What kind of things?
They have imposed economical sanctions on the
Hmm.
government.
Yes.
So our government don't have access, to buy food, from countries of the region like Brazil, like Colombia,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
Peru, Chile and
Hmm.
Argentina. Okay, don't
Hmm.
forget that the government that govern there are right wings, and they follow their
Yeah.
instructions, don't sell
Yes.
anything to Venezuela. okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we have been banned to buy what we need from not only from South American countries from Europe, from the United States and Canada, I
Mm-hmm.
mean themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we have okay, but we have access, to Russia, India,
Mm-hmm.
Iran,
Mm-hmm.
and those
Mm-hmm.
countries. Those has been the country who which have helped us a lot, not only with food but
Mm-hmm.
also with medication and some other things, and commodities we need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
That I mean, it's quite difficult, when
Yeah, yeah, no,
someone,
no, no.
um, yeah,
No, you're right. Go ahead
yeah,
and
well,
finish what you were gonna
yeah.
say.
Okay, I mean, it's
Yeah.
like if you were banned to do inside your own house, or
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't have access to, in spite that you have money on your bank account, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, your accounts are blocked, so
Mm-hmm.
you don't have access to buy anything because your your money has been blocked. Okay, I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay, yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
You're
they try
absolutely right.
mhm,
And
yeah.
the I and you're gonna probably tell me this already, but I just want to clarify. Venezuela is probably the most it has probably the most resources in the region, huh? And the other countries like in the
Mm,
region,
mm.
they don't want to see you guys succeed. Is that the would you say that's the truth, since they follow a different path, since they're pretty much like in servitude of United States? Do you think they're like jealous, like these places like Colombia and places like that?
Uh, um, okay, I didn't understand what
Yeah,
we were trying to ask. I mean,
yeah.
okay, try to
I
be
was
much
trying
more
to
open.
ask.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to ask because Venezuela has a lot of natural resources. Venezuela is in a
yes, hmm,
strategic. It's in a strategic area too, because it's like the crossroads between the
yeah,
Caribbean and like the Latin America. Do you think countries like
hmm.
Chile, do you think countries like Colombia, do you think countries like Argentina don't want Venezuela to become a powerhouse? That's why they're going to this guy Juan Guaido or whatever his name is, and actually saying, yeah, he's the president.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, you would say, yeah,
Well,
that's the reason.
we have natural resources enough for us and enough for South American countries. I mean, we want. I mean, everybody here. But the United States want to take everything out of here. I mean, that's what I want. They
Hmm.
want our natural resources. That's what they are doing, what they do. I mean, that's why
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what they have been done all over the world. I mean,
yeah.
they went to
Of
Iraq
course.
and took Iraq's petroleum oil. They went
Yes.
to Libya doing the same thing there.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
what
You're
what have
absolutely
been
right.
done because they have a big demand of energy inside the
Yes.
United States, and they
Hmm.
know that they don't have enough for its survival as a nation because it's an
Yes, that's true.
empire, and they have to uh, and
Imperialism.
they have
It's
to
just
yeah, and they have
imperialism
to
101.
preserve they have to preserve its status. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes,
And
absolutely.
in order to
Absolutely.
do that, they have to take the natural resources of any other country at any kind of cost. They don't care,
They
even if
don't.
even if they need to kill or
Hmm.
destroy, they will do that in order to get what they want.
Yes. Yes.
Okay?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Now
Mm-hmm.
this is a sensitive question I'm about to ask, because my mind was blown when I saw pictures that the majority of Bolivarian revolution supporters, they're my color. Now, did Hugo Chavez, when he came in power, did he give more rights to Afro descendant Venezuelans? And also, with the rights given, do you think the right wing is that there's actually with this United States intervention, do you think there's also like a racial undertone to this? Because like they're like, well, you know, we want guys that look like us in power. We don't want guys that look like me in power. Do you think that has something to do with it too?
No, not really. Well, I mean, okay, we don't have ethnic problems. Okay,
Okay.
what is okay?
Okay.
That's what the U.S. trying to make us think. It's
Okay.
a strategy. That someone with that color
Mm-hmm.
stay in power. I mean, for them, it's no. I mean, uh, they don't want. I mean, they don't want someone from the population, especially of low income, especially of
Yeah.
low position. I mean, they
Yeah.
want people in power, someone who represents um, uh, okay, a higher status.
Yes.
Someone who went to a college,
Mm-hmm.
who got a university degree or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, that's what I want. Someone like,
Mm-hmm.
with that
Juan Guaido.
characteristics,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Like Juan
yeah,
Guaido.
Juan Guaido, someone who went to Harvard, someone who went to the United States to be educated, in a
Mm-hmm.
university in the States,
Mm-hmm.
but 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 to 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 but for someone to be in power
Mm-hmm.
like Nicolas Maduro
Mm-hmm.
was a driver. I mean,
Yeah.
he was a bus driver, and we know
Okay.
that.
Mm-hmm.
But we get along well. There is a symbiosis. I mean,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
when there is
Symbiotic.
empathy,
Yeah.
symbiosis. Okay,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
we okay, we get acquainted through him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we get along well. I mean, it's like us. We chat. I mean, we don't have any
Mm-hmm.
kind of prejudice. Okay, we respect him because he is
Mm-hmm.
the president. But
Mm-hmm.
we have a very good relationship. I mean, there is an open and sincere relationship. With, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he as a president and we as a people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
we
No.
don't make any distinction. So it doesn't
Yes.
make any
Yes. Yes.
distinction. Okay,
Yes.
he's the president. Okay, we respect him, because he's the president.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That it's not like the guys who were in power before. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I mean, nobody sees them. Nobody have access,
Mm-hmm.
to the presidential palace. But
Yeah.
now we can go there anytime we want.
Okay.
If we want to talk to him, okay, we his
Yeah.
office, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I mean, we have much more access, to the government, to the central
Mm-hmm.
government and regional government,
Mm-hmm.
because of that. Okay. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
our government, I mean, the people who are in government, it could be the
Mm-hmm.
governor, it could be the mayor,
Mm-hmm.
now they go to the public, they go to the street, they go house to house, they go, I mean, with the people, with the organized people.
Mm-hmm.
As I said before, I reiterate right now. I mean, everything that the government is going to make in relation to policy or policy making, I mean, everything is consulted with the people.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is done, okay, with outside the constitution. Inside of it, everything. Outside of it, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Now, what I want to know though
Yeah.
is because there was one scene I saw and I was just like, man, these guys have no filters. I saw a scene with the right wing. They burnt a guy who they thought was a quote unquote a Chavista, and he was black. And I've seen some of the right wing cartoons of Hugo Chavez. They like depict him as a monkey and stuff like that. Is it,
Mm.
in now you guys have access to the president, But in the general society, do the right wing look at like Venezuelans who like come from like maybe like who are have African descent in them? Do they look at them like, oh, we don't want anything to do with you guys? You know what I mean? Or how do they look at like the Afro Venezuelans and the
Okay,
mixed?
I mean, the right wing here in this
Mm-hmm.
country, they are blonde guys. They're white
Mm-hmm.
people,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't want to mess, with the people of the society. In that sense, they have a barrier. I mean, uh, they are hypocrite. I mean, hypocritical.
Yeah,
I mean, they
yeah,
treat you,
yeah, hypocrites. Yeah.
but yeah, they are hypocrites. I mean, and so we don't like them. We
Mm-hmm.
don't like them because we are not like, I mean, we don't have their status. We don't have the
Mm-hmm.
money they have. They live
Mm-hmm.
in luxury houses in the east part of Caracas or any other
Mm-hmm.
city in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And they have planes, they travel around the world whenever they feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but they are, I mean, why they consider themselves as a supremacy. They
Okay.
consider that they are the best, that they deserve the
Okay.
best because,
Mm-hmm.
and we the people, of humble positions, of dark
Mm-hmm.
skin color, okay, no,
Mm-hmm.
get rid of me. I mean, you don't deserve this. You are, you know, very low positions. You are
Yeah.
black or, you know,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have, like they say, blue blood.
Yeah, yeah, blue, yeah, yeah, blonde hair,
Mm.
blue eyes. Yeah, that's what they usually
Yeah,
say.
blonde hair,
Oh,
blonde.
oh,
Yeah.
he's blonde hair,
Hmm.
blue eyes, and stuff like that. Um, I mean,
Yeah.
in general, though, what do you think is going to happen? Like, what do you see happening? Do you see that this trial is going to get this trial is going to be over and that this guy is going to be like gone and there won't be we won't have to worry about this? Or do you think it's I hate to ask, but do you think like there's going to be that this border stuff in Colombia is going to spread into the country? What do you think's going to happen in your
Okay.
opinion?
So
Yeah.
they're going to continue, bothering us.
Mhm.
You know that this is they want to get to topple down the government in one way or
Mhm.
another.
Mhm.
But everything that they have done so far
Mhm.
haven't got any good result for them. I mean, they are
Mhm.
stupid. I mean, they don't
Mhm.
do things right. Okay, so
Yeah, you're right.
they have been
Mhm.
bad advised, by the U.S. government
Mhm.
because the United
Mhm.
States, they don't know the way we are like.
Mhm.
Okay, and in spite of all the things that we have gone through so far, we
Mhm.
still believe
Mhm.
in our government. We still believe in our institutions, in the
Mhm.
democracy we have, the constitution we have.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
and we are trying, to do our best, for the benefits of all of our people.
Mhm.
And most of the people know that if you see the maturity
Mhm.
of the people, I mean, that they
Mhm.
have got so far, and
Mhm.
that thanks to Chavez,
Mhm.
because it was because of him we have got um, that political maturity, you
Mhm.
know. So it's gonna be difficult for them, to topple down Maduro.
Mhm.
It's gonna be difficult for them, So
Yeah.
the opposition here
Yeah.
lost all spaces,
Mhm.
and most of the people, even the people that are his partidaries, you know,
Mhm.
they
Mhm.
don't believe in them.
Mhm.
Okay, if you see, Guaidó did everything by himself, and
Mhm.
all the opposition leaders, I mean,
Mhm.
were not with him. People who has credibility here, among
Mhm.
the opposition leaders. I mean, advised him not to do what he did.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, those guys are radical, hardcore. I mean, right wings. They are the extreme, right wing. I mean, Guaido
Mm-hmm.
and the people who are within, But if you see people like Ramos Alup, that is a political leader,
Mm-hmm.
an old political leader, a right-wing political leader, he was not within.
Mm-hmm.
And some other leaders here who has, I would say, a reputation among the opposition leaders, they were not within.
Mm-hmm.
So they said that, okay, I mean, we are not going to participate in what you're doing, just do by yourself.
Wow. I didn't
We are
even
not
know
going to
that.
be part of that. Yeah, we are
Yeah.
not going to be part of that because you are doing things, I mean, completely wrong, So if you
Yeah,
see,
I didn't even know that.
many oppositions here, I mean,
Hmm.
didn't like what Guaido did.
So there's even
Okay.
conflict. Yeah, you're telling me there's even conflict
Hmm.
within the opposition, and we don't hear about this. We don't hear about this.
Hmm.
They don't tell us this stuff.
There is
I'm
a
telling you.
rupture. There is a rupture
Hmm.
inside the political organizations here in Venezuela.
Hmm.
Okay. I mean, it's divided. It's divided.
Hmm.
One group support Guaido, and
Hmm.
another group, I mean, a majority group, I mean, are not agree with him for what
Hmm.
he did,
Hmm.
and they are still oppositions. Okay,
Hmm.
and they are still oppositions, and they are against Maduro, but they are not with
Hmm.
Guaido. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
In that sense, we are a little bit confident, but we have to be alert, because we
Yeah,
don't know what is going to be the next what is going to be the next step taken by the US, because they are going to continue with that
yeah,
in one way
yeah.
or
You're
another. They're going to try to look for somebody else, another puppet, to be utilized, to be used, in order to get their purpose, because they want
yeah,
our natural resources. We don't
yeah.
care as people.
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
this is unfortunate though. I mean, I wish it would just like end, and
Yeah.
the problem is when we're we're giving these pictures that they paint, and then it's not even the right picture. It's a
Yeah.
it's the wrong picture. Even with the elections, I heard you guys
Yeah.
have one of the best
So,
systems for elections. Can you go into
mhm.
that? Your election policy?
We have been participated in 25 elections, and we have won 23.
Hmm.
Okay. And if you see, not only in 18 years of revolution, you see,
Hmm.
even to elect, a communal councils, we go through an election, I mean,
Hmm.
yeah. So I would like to invite anyone who wants to come to Venezuela,
Hmm.
everybody who wants to come. Okay, I mean, our doors are open for anybody who wants to come and see the reality here. Okay, I mean,
Hmm.
we are not gonna hide anything. He can go to any place he wants to, and ask for anything he wants to ask and
Hmm.
see what he wants to see. But
Hmm.
that's what we want, people to
Hmm.
come and see it.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Our doors are open, and I invite anybody who wants to come here to Venezuela. Please, he can contact me, on my phone number or through my email. Please give my email or my phone
Hmm.
number to anyone who wants to know much more about this.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so we can give him or her or anybody
Yeah,
the information
yeah,
he needs.
yeah, yeah. I'm thinking I may come get a wife. Yeah, you guys got. I swear to God, you guys, you and Cuba have probably the best looking Latin American women. I would say that it's between you
Yeah.
guys. Cuba who have the best looking women. I'm dead serious. You
Yeah.
know, I really haven't seen um, because the women there, they look kind of different from the rest of the black
Yeah.
women, and I'm like, yeah, man, they're very
We
pretty.
Yeah, we have been
Hmm.
told that a lot of times. Yeah.
Yeah,
Our
yeah,
women are
yeah,
beautiful. Yeah.
yeah. They
Our
are.
women are
They
beautiful.
definitely are.
Hmm.
Yeah, most definitely. Um,
Hmm.
but listen, do you have any last words for the people besides like going to Venezuela? Do you have anything else that you want to tell the people before
Okay.
I
I would like to
end the
tell
stream?
that here that we have an open democracy, open to
Hmm.
anybody. I mean,
Hmm.
Maduro is not a dictator. I mean, it's a
Hmm.
Democrat. Okay. And
Hmm.
our constitution is based on solidarity, it's based on democracy,
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, so I would like to invite, and see what we have done here. I mean, it's
Hmm.
a revolution of love. Okay.
Hmm.
We are
Hmm.
friends, for those who wants to be friend. Okay.
Hmm.
And you want, just come to Venezuela. I mean, and see. Okay.
Hmm.
So what we have done so
Hmm.
far, has been the most wonderful experience that we have had, in all our history, as a republic, you
Hmm.
know. Um, Yes.
Hmm.
So, and anybody here can tell you that,
Hmm.
not only me because I support the government, but you can ask anybody in the streets, in any place you go to, just tell me about the revolutionary process, okay? And they can tell
Hmm.
you exactly the same
Hmm.
thing that I have told you. Yeah.
For sure.
Hmm.
Okay, Comrade Jesus, I really appreciate this so much. You have no idea. I mean, this gives hopefully everybody who watches this like a clearer picture of like really what's going on and stuff like that. And we'll be on touch on Facebook. Just like give me a shout anytime you want, and we can just talk about these things and stuff like that. And I will
Yeah.
indeed
Okay. Hmm.
leave people your email so you can go ahead and tell them more if they're interested.
Okay, great. I mean, let me tell you that if you want to have much more conversation about this topic or any other one you want to,
Hmm.
okay, we are available,
Hmm.
and open to do any kind of conversation or webinars or something like that with everybody, with any kind of organization, we are open,
Hmm.
to discuss and debate, the things that are happening here, at any
Of
moment,
course,
whenever you want.
for sure, for sure. And
Yeah.
if anybody reaches out to me and wants to do that, then we can do that. I have no
For
problem.
sure.
Yeah,
Definitely, yes. Definitely, yes.
because I'm gonna tell you something. I don't believe the news most of the time. Most of the time, I know that like when they show these pictures on the news, I'm like, well, this guy looks like he's acting. He doesn't even look like he's from there, And I'm like, I just it just kind of gets dumb after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we would like to
and
say more, we would like to say many more things, but we have limitation with the language. I mean, I know
yeah,
that it's quite difficult,
yeah.
but we
The
want.
thing is,
Mhm,
if we did it all in
mhm,
Spanish, they wouldn't be able to like the wider audience probably wouldn't be able to hear like understand it. The followers on this page probably wouldn't be able to understand it. Maybe a couple of them would be.
yeah.
So we have to do it in English unless we do it in Spanish and then like I add subtitles or something like that. But yeah, for
But I
sure.
hope, but I hope that everybody who have listened
Mhm.
to this conversation have understood what I have said.
I'm pretty sure they did. I'm pretty sure they
Okay,
have.
great. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Take
So
it
that's one of the
easy.
things it worries me because wow, I don't know if I'm gonna do well,
No, yeah,
because
no. Trust me. They should be able to understand. If they can't understand, then it's not you, it's them,
okay.
basically. Yep. Yep. But thank you so much. And
Thank
you
you.
know, yeah, I hope this message gets out to a lot of people. I'm gonna put it on my
Okay.
Facebook as well. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Great.
Bye.
Bye
All right.
bye.
Bye. Bye.